Okay, so it says we're live. I'm just gonna double check on this one, and then we can have this whole massive rant thing. Is it?
I tagged you on that. Oh, and I even tagged you on the guy above it who was all like, "My boy Jason, my boy Tommy would have this." Yeah.
Oh,
I cashed in a lot of
you cast it.
a lot of stuff in on this today, didn't I?
Yeah, I don't know if it's. Is it? Okay, yeah. It looks like you cashed in a lot. God damn. Sorry, I keep hearing feedback on it. Right, so it looks like it's live. So hi Orville. Right, before last time I did this, people started asking questions and stuff and telling me things. We're going to rant, and then I'll look at questions and stuff like that. So, okay, one thing that Jonny and I can probably wholeheartedly agree on is versus posts are the worst when no one gives facts whatsoever. So let's say Tommy versus Doggy Kruger. And then you have these like people just go Tommy, and you never like have people turn around and go, like, well, what can Tommy do? He beat the original 5 Rangers, and that's it. And then there's nothing there. Do you agree on this one, Jonny?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I forgot I was on microphone for a second. Yes, versus posts are the most interesting and the most infuriating posts in the world. You have got, you get this person versus that, Kruger versus Tommy. Like, oh, that could be a really cool fight. How would it go? And then you just got someone else going, Tommy.
Yeah.
It'd be Tommy. Tommy, here's my picture. It's Tommy. It's like, but why? He has 2 swords.
Exactly. But one thing that has popped up in a Facebook group at the moment is people are putting down versus posts like Power Rangers versus the Marvel Universe and the cinematic universe. The other day, someone posted that who would win out of a weapon, which weapon would win in a fight, Power Axe or Stormbreaker? And I'm sorry, but Stormbreaker wins every goddamn time. But today we had one which Jonny decides to post when I'm about, hey, do you know, I'm gonna go to bed. Like I'm gonna get this day over, start afresh, and I see a post by a person in a group going, so your thoughts? I think Dino Thunder is that powerful to take on Thanos and his Chitani army from Endgame. What? It's just what? It generally annoys me because people will go, oh yeah, Dino Thunder will win. Well, no, Dino Thunder would literally just be destroyed. Now, this person has put out and said that it's the whole Dino Thunder team versus Thanos and his army. Now, if I calculate right, we have one giant big spaceship in the sky. We then have multiple air, like either ships, and there's giant lizard thingies that look like giant worms. And then you have possibly 1,000 minions on the ground. And there is Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet and all the stones in it.
So I'm gonna throw it out there, Mark. Let's be a little bit more rounded with this thought here. Obviously, it's mainly about Dino Thunder, but let's branch out a little bit. Every single Power Rangers season, when they have met an invading army of Thanos' size, how have they done?
Most of them have got whipped.
So the first time will have been in space.
Yep.
Where they got out with a cheeky Z-Wave.
We have Turbo as well. Turbo, they went against Divatox's army at the end.
Yeah, true. It wasn't necessarily a full-blown like planetary invasion, but it was still an army that was invading. So yeah, so they lost there. They had lost the countdown to destruction until a cheeky Z-Wave saved them. So nice little plot device there. We also go a little bit further, and you've got which other invasion the armies have we had? Super Mega Force.
They got no, because in Super Megaforce they kind of they all had to have all together. But I think at the very beginning, when you had the Megaforce Rangers running away, they got whipped because of the thing, and they couldn't go all out. In fact, I think from the words of Gosei was Rangers run, just run. And I'm sorry, but you have in that scene, I think there's like maybe 3 or 4 ships that can be taken out by a ranger if they're on them, and then literally get whipped. But as Jamie says, he says, look at Megaforce at the final ever battle. They needed all the teams, and that was against I think 1,000 X-Borgs. I think they go like there's thousands of them. But in this Marvel Cinematic Universe, you have flying ships, you have a million minions, and Thanos that has god level powers. Like literally, even if it was just Thanos on his own, time stone. Oh look, you're all frozen in time. You've all been defeated. I'll take your gems and add them to a necklace that I'm going to wear.
So you had a point with Jamie saying about all the other teams. I like Orville's comment. Thanos' snap and half the Dino Thunder team would be gone.
Yeah, just there we go. You're gone, and it's like, oh, like even if someone was like, oh, it's Tommy, Tommy would be taken out by that Thanos snap straight away. He'd be gone. Connor would be gone. Even Trent, all of them would just be snapped out of existence.
It's only half. He only removed half of existence, dude. Don't go removing everybody. Like, jeez. But even without the stones, if you actually look at what Thanos is and you compare him to the power levels that the Rangers normally fight, they normally fight like day to day. They don't fight cosmic. It's like saying who would win, the Power Rangers or Goku, the Power Rangers or Frieza. These are beings that can wipe out planets.
Yeah,
and you think
exactly.
Power Rangers have got a chance.
Yeah, even if they somehow the gems kicked in and they went full power, like even Super Dynamo has a time limit effectively. Even if that time limit was taken away, Thanos will just win even like completely. Now, because this guy constantly went on about stuff, we went on about strength levels, and I was just like, right, okay, gonna look into this because I'm not like I don't know about like Thanos's benchling that he can do, but I do know that Thanos is a pretty strong guy. So after he's able to throw the moon at people, and I mean, come on, you get hit by a moon, you're gonna demorph straight away. I did a little bit of Googling, and Thanos can lift 120 million pounds. That's 10 more pounds than the weight of the Titanic. Now, I'm sorry, if you got hit by 120 million pounds, you're going to demorph and you're going to go on the other side of the planet with a full-on hit, and then just be like, oh, that ranger's gone. It just all this sort of stuff that when we see it.
Are you sure that the Titanic weighed 120 million pounds?
It was a 10. It says here in Night Thingy, which is done by scientists. If I scroll down. Cool. Oh yeah, because I think some scientists, like they're geeks, and they just went, do you know what? Let's just work this out. So they actually went down to like the force and stuff like that. So it says here, no, that's the dust of a cube. It just said stuff like, I'll find it.
Because I mean, I don't think you can really like as much as it's saying like Thanos is this strong. I don't think his strength necessarily has a top end. I mean, he's gone toe to toe with Galactus, who can tear planets apart. He's gone toe to toe with the Hulk when he is at his angriest, when he is at his peak, and he has treated him like his,
just ultimate.
Yeah, it's like hey Hulk, dress as my maid and go make me a brew, and yeah, sure, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, it gets to the point. I think a few people are saying like, I need to see this.
Yeah, there we go. We've got Orville. I like this Orville Joel guy. I like you. Your comments have been quite amusing. The Dino Thunder team would be on his t-shirt. I like that. And the Titanic, was 52,000 12,310 tons. I knew that number was a little bit. There we go.
Yeah, I mean,
but
like,
yeah,
literally. Sorry, go on.
Just for context, if you have a cheeky glance at Thanos' abilities, like he's literally superhuman strength, speed, stamina, immortality, invulnerability, telepathy, telekinesis, quantitative cosmic energy. There's no chance on Earth that anyone in any of the Ranger universe would be able to do much against that, apart from possibly what's the guy's name from MMPR season 1? Tommy. No.
Tommy.
No. There's the one bad guy, and I always forget his name, but he's the one bad guy that like the Ultra Zord didn't actually manage to wipe out. He just kind of disappeared back to his universe, and I can't remember his name.
Oh, Master Vile.
No. The big
Lothar.
Lothar.
Yeah,
Lothar
the big head.
Interesting one because he wasn't really touched on. But even then, I'd probably argue that he wasn't able to beat the Rangers easily, so he wouldn't beat Thanos.
I know.
Lothar. Yep. Cheers, Lewis.
Yeah. Like, see, what gets me is like I'm all for like a good versus post. What I hate, and I absolutely hate, is that when you give facts and then the other person goes Tommy. Or what? Because it's always Tommy. It's always going to be Tommy. It's always. But this one, no one can beat him because they've got this. Like one guy, and this was ages ago when I was having a discussion with one person, and it was like, oh, Tommy can beat anyone in the Ranger universe. Like nothing can do it. And we were giving facts like these are the Rangers that can do it. The fact that you've got some with super speed, super power, blah blah blah. Trent. Absolute Trent won, and like it was. We went to the Trent thing, and he was like, "Oh, Trent couldn't beat Tommy in his prime." It's like, but Trent beat him, as Black Dino. And then later on, this guy goes like, he lost it completely and was like, "Oh, Tommy could beat you in a fight." And I was like, "Well, Tommy can't get out of a wet paper bag, but that's fine. He can beat me. I'm not. If I get hit by Tommy, I'm going down. I'm not gonna take it. I'll fight back for a bit, but I know that if he was in his Dino Thunder form." I'm gone.
If you're gonna put fantasy characters versus realistic characters, it's never gonna go well. I mean, if it's Power Rangers Tommy versus Mark the Mighty from comic book 720 that has all the abilities of fictional Mark, then you know what? You may well put up a good fight.
Yeah, exactly. But if it's regular me, I'm not going to win against Tommy. I just know I'm not. But it's just this whole thing that really kind of gets me all the time, and I can never understand. Let's put like I'm looking at the comments.
I just open in a second page so that I can see it as it updates.
I have it on the StreamYard thing here, but it doesn't show me hidden comments. So I just generally kind of quickly went over and checked. So there's quite a lot, but I just
check it over. Please tell me you're replying to the Tommy versus Trent thing and not the Trent versus Thanos thing.
No, I'm guessing Orville does mean Trent versus Tommy, because there's the actual video evidence. Like there's other evidence in it. Like what was that thing that we were talking about the other day? It was something like Trent. Like who could solo someone? And it was Trent could win. Like, oh no, it's evil Trent versus evil Tommy. And this one person went on, and I was just like, literally, Trent has all these abilities. And there's one ability that I completely forgot about. And that's when any of the Dino Thunder Rangers hit Trent's morpher, he stole the power. He literally just went, yeah, yes, I've got your morphing energy. And then he just punched them out of the way. They demorphed, and Tommy came in. And what happened? He got beaten really easily compared to this whole, oh my God, like, he's amazing at fighting. He can beat anyone. He got whipped by Trent multiple times as well, not just like a one-off. But going back to this Rangers v versus post, it just generally irritates the crap out of me constantly. As you said, if it's fantasy versus fantasy, do it. But if it's fantasy versus reality, at least listen. And when people know more about a subject, boom, listen to them, not be like, but it's technology. It's technology. It's Tommy is as strong as Captain America. What?
It's like, hey, Mark, who'd
Well,
who'd win a fight, Tommy or Captain Marvelous?
we all know it'd be Captain Marvelous because Captain Marvelous don't give no ducks. He does not care whatsoever, and he would go for it. And yeah, he's got all the Gokai power. But even if you took out the other past Rangers, he would still win because he knows how to fight.
I'm curious, anyone that's watching, what do you think would be a good versus for Power Rangers? Like, obviously, you have like Thanos versus the Power Rangers, which is just very one-sided. Stormbreaker versus the Power Axe, again, very one-sided. What do you think would be a good versus? Like a decent power level to kind of line up against?
Tommy is strongest than Captain America. Come on, that's bullcrap. I love it. I love it, Lewis. Power Rangers versus. They did actually do that through the comics because Orville's just posted about.
They also did that in the live action.
Yes, and the turtles were evil. God damn it, Astronomer.
I'd turn evil for Astronomer.
Yeah, so would I.
Turtle. I mean, who do you reckon would win, Power Rangers or Thundercats?
Which Power Ranger series, though?
You can pick.
I think that the Thundercats would win against quite a few. Power Rangers versus me. We know that the Rangers would win that one after I take half of them down.
The Magnificent comic
from comics. Yeah, I do it. Yeah, I think the Thundercats would put up a big fight.
Power Rangers versus Ben 10.
No. Okay, so which version of Ben 10 are we thinking? First season? Because if you've got Alien X, that would be a bit of a problem because that is a super overpowered character anyway.
Why?
Alien X has the ability to change the universe, but the one drawback of it is it's got to be in 100% alignment, like agreement. So there's two, like when he goes inside himself, there are two faces, one good, one like kind of one good, one evil, or like one good judgment, one bad judgment, and they've got to agree. And then Ben's like the third one, so he's like kind of the I can't do anything. I have to get you both to agree on it. So if they turn around and said like, Alien X can wipe out the entire universe, they will have a discussion, but then it stops Ben from moving. So he can't even do anything, but he can't be like taken down. So if you like hit him with a nuke, he'd still stand there because he's that powerful. So when that happens, like, if one says no, then it will just like massively fuck him up. But it's a very interesting concept. Like, here's ultimate power, but you have to get these two people to agree.
And 10 when he unlocks master controls.
So that's every single alien. I think there's over 3,000 or 10,000 aliens inside it.
Okay, that does sound a little bit one-sided.
I think Ben 10 Master Control would win that one.
Ben 10's just like, alien DNA, Super Saiyan, yes, please.
Yeah, I will just whip everyone. Power Rangers versus Decepticons.
Now, can the Decepticons become morphers so they can disguise as a morpher? And then, like, when the Power Ranger grabs the morpher, thinking, right, let's do this, it's like, surprise.
Soundwave. Megatron, I have deceived the Power Rangers. Thank you, Soundwave.
I do agree. Kamen Rider Cougar would... Cougar? I mean, Kamen Rider Cougar sounds like a very different film to me to what it probably should be.
It's not the sexy kind. I haven't seen Cougar, but to be fair, I think Kamen Riders could pretty much take most of the Rangers.
Yeah, I mean, the Kamen Riders have kind of got used to fighting pretty much on their own. They don't normally do much team-wise. And they used to being outnumbered, so they probably have the edge in those fights.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, they'd probably struggle with some of the Sixth Rangers, but not much, unless it was Kamen Rider Wizard. Kamen Rider Wizard just like la 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 la.
Then then you've got what's the new one? Saber as well. Saber I think would damage the Rangers hard. They've got the power of fairy tales. I still need
Fairy Tale sounds cool.
Oh yeah.
Fairy Tale.
And
Dino Charge versus Dino Thunder versus Dino Fury. Well, we don't know much about Dino Fury at the moment, so we can't really make that call.
Well, basically, what Dino Charge would do is they would run back a bit, go back in time, go to the point, and then get that Earth sucked into a vortex, go back and change it, then creating a whole new reality. Because, you know, Dino Thunder decided to do that. How to beat all the bad guys? Just let the Earth get sucked in and then go back and change time. Oh.
You mean Dino Charge?
Dino Charge, yeah. Dino Fury has done that. I don't know. What else? Like, also, Cougar has the power to destroy the Earth. There we go. So Cougar could one kick from Cougar would just destroy a Ranger in one go.
Well, if he misses,
then he hits another Ranger. Or he hits a lamppost and that destroys the Earth. Well done, lamppost. Well done, Power Grid. You've just taken out the Earth. Empower's not going to like that.
Mystic Force versus Kamen Rider Wizard. You've got to give it to my boy Wizard there. You know, Infinity, please. I don't think we saw anything at that power level with Mystic Force, did we?
No. The only time is how much energy that they have, and how much they poured into the Master at the time, which literally killed him. He's like, I can't stop eating. Close your mouth, Master. It's easy. You don't have to absorb it.
Wizard also has all dragon form. Yeah, that goes to Wizard.
Yeah. Plus, he has that giant hand. Bitch slaps Tommy.
You like hitting Tommy a little bit. Also, you can tell how much you were enjoying your Power Rangers versus Thanos thing. You were on until 2 o'clock in the morning.
No, I just got off a phone call with a friend after playing Minecraft, and then I was like going to bed, and I was like, right, I need to check on this rendering for these Final Fantasy VII videos, and then I see this tag, and I'm like, oh, what's Jonny tagged me in? Is it something cool? Is it something that I'm going to enjoy and be like, oh, that's really cool? What did I get?
Ever that?
Hey?
Is it ever something that you'll enjoy?
It's either two things I've noticed when you tag me and stuff. It's either look at this and argue, or this is really cool, look at this. And I'm like, okay, and what do I see? Some guy who literally thinks Dino Thunder is going to be able to beat Thanos, and I'm just like, I'll bite. Maybe a few information, maybe a few information drops. Maybe the person doesn't know about Thanos. I'll drop some slight information. Boom! He just goes on one. He just goes on one, and I'm just like, I get to a point where I'm like, I don't want to argue this anymore. And I was like, you're just trolling. There's no way that you cannot. After you get hit by a moon, there's not, and Rita's Palace at the same time. You know, there's probably a camper van as well. You know, an RV. That's it. You know, you've got to give it. You have to be like, all right, fair enough. Not Tommy can hit it with a brachio staff, because that thing would snap like a hot knife through butter. It's this sort of stuff that really kind of puts me off, like even interacting with a lot of people, because I can understand if people have a talk and they have a discussion and that you both can do it. Like if I didn't know that Tommy or one of the Dino Thunders, like say for example, when Trent goes into Super Dino mode, like say his daggers thing that's on his front of his hands, if they were like made of like titanium alloy, whatever, that was the strongest metal on Earth, I could, you know, I could understand that it could cut through a lot of stuff. But if you're just going to turn around and be a dick on it and reply it with you can't come back with anything, then no. So I got bored of it after an end, but he just kept going. And then when you put in all the stuff like, oh, Thanos has beat the Phoenix Force, he's done this, he's immortal, he's done, you know, he's strong, blah blah blah, and the guy was just like, but But Dino Thunder, you're like, all right, you've instantly lost. You've instantly lost on this one. So I was just like, cool.
Lewis Cox has asked a question. Power Rangers Mystic Force. Nope, sorry, I was on the wrong one. Jamie originally said, in Dino Fury, do we think we'll get Jungle Fury appearing since they both have Fury in their names?
I don't think so. I think that the most you're going to see is possibly Zordon. So if it's a prequel that they're going on about, I think you're going to see that it is Zordon. He will be around. And if not, then I think like the coolest things to me would be having the 3 Rangers in, 3 Might Morphing Rangers, like say Walter, David, and Amy, that they all come back. But if they don't, then they don't. So it's kind of rumored that it's going to be a prequel. But if you've watched Rio Soldier, the main cast, Red, Blue, and Pink, they're trained by mentors originally. So it'd be cool if, like, say you had, like, say Austin, you had David and Amy come back, and they like there for like 2 episodes or an episode, because in Rio Soldier they get slapped hard. I think that they're called Dino Masters or something, and then they get killed. So yeah. So in Power Rangers, they would just disappear. They'd be like, "We've got to go on a mission. You've got the power," and then they come back later on, halfway through the series.
They're going to go to a peace conference.
Yeah, we're going back. We're just going to be in on this.
I personally don't think Jungle Fury will appear, because they haven't done things like that in the past with Wild Force, Time Force, Mystic Force, Mega Force, Super Mega Force. They haven't had anything really leaning into the names, so to speak. Obviously, apart from Wild Force and Time Force, because they were one after the other, so they had their crossover episodes. Mark versus Mark. Well, Mark never wins, so.
Thanks. Hang on.
Apart from in the Majestic Mark comic book 7.
Yeah, he wins. Nice he wins everything. What have we got? We've got Power Rangers Mystic Force, Kamen Rider versus Mystic Knights.
Oh, wow, that was a good show.
How cool would it be if, like, it was set in that time and Hasbro literally got like 1 or 2 of the actors to come back from Mystic Knights, and it was set in that time. And then
they did lean, you know, it was night based. They did have the Red Dragon in it. So they could kind of lean slightly on that as well. That would be really cool, to be fair. The air around us, you know, the ground beneath us. Yeah, that would be a really sick tie-in. Probably wouldn't happen, but it'd be cool.
Even if it was a name drop, I would be so happy with that. I think that would be one of the best things that you could see from this. Like, I don't know, like, oh yeah, there's another faction over in Ireland that uses the same sort of power, but we can't get there. You know, I'd just be like, oh my god, you have just referenced a show that
Kingdom of Kells, I think it was called. I'm a nerd. I apologize.
It's fine. It's in your name, your username, the Geek Grid. So, like, oh, I would love it. Like that's the sort of stuff. Like, moving like very brief. Have you seen? Do you watch Discovery?
I don't.
Jonny.
I'm not gonna lie. I think the first few episodes, is that the one Star Trek on Netflix?
Yeah. They've got like 3 seasons.
They've got to 3 seasons. Wow. I got like 3 episodes into season 1 and got really annoyed at the fact that I could work out who the villains of the episodes were based on the fact that they were white cis male.
Oh wow.
It was like, aha, there's a guy in the episode, he's the bad guy. And then lo and behold, he ended up being the bad guy.
Well, spoilers, because spoilers in the season 3, they find the Federation, and one of the biggest Easter eggs. Yeah, it's like It's like they're 900 years in the future or so. Yes, 900 years in the future. So it obviously just goes way past Voyager. But when you find the Federation, because it's in tatters, they fly into it, and you see Voyager J, which is like the 8th version of Voyager, and it's like those little Easter eggs. Like they don't even acknowledge it, but it's like those little Easter eggs. So if they talked about Mystic Knights, like even if referenced it, I would be wholeheartedly like, I am impressed. This season is going places, even if it's really bad.
Okay, so Discovery is actually worth watching.
It is. It's set
On a scale between like Next Gen and Voyager, and like
that's hard.
Like if you had to put those three in an order, what order would it be?
See, I like TNG and I like Voyager, so they'd be like in tie for number one. If it was like, I'd say TNG, Voyager, Discovery.
Oh wow, so it's above Deep Space Nine as well.
Well, Deep Space Nine, like I haven't got a huge love for it because I like never liked it as a kid. I like it now, but
Ooh,
you know,
I liked Orville too. Sorry,
Orville's good. So I said the daggers would be made of kryptonite. Become Omega Rangers again. Yeah, you could have because Jason and Zach become Omega Rangers in the comics.
Didn't Trini become an Omega Ranger as well?
She did, but if we're talking about Trini, I was thinking Amy.
Yeah, good point. You can't bring Trini back. Whoops.
It would be Karen if they were gonna bring back a Yellow Ranger for that time. It would be Karen, or it still would be Trini but morphed.
Oh, okay, phew. I thought you were about to say it was going to be the one that likes to think she was the original Yellow Ranger.
Oh no, we're not talking about her. She is banned from the channel. Banned. And I'm not getting into that at like almost 3 a.m. So we've got they won't bring back the Mystic Knights because that's the simple explanation of that. That is very true.
Sorry, I meant Orville as in the show because I misinterpreted what Lewis was saying and then realised he was referencing you. I apologise. You are also awesome as well.
Everyone is awesome when they join us at 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever time they're at. But yeah, I probably will wrap this up in a minute.
Hey Mark, who are you referring to when you said they're banned from the channel at 3 o'clock in the morning?
Pilot Trini. Because I don't know. Just
no. That's for another time. That's
another story.
If we wrap up in a couple of minutes at a nice round 3 o'clock, I'm curious from the people still watching, who's your favorite Ranger and why? And who do you think would win out of them or Batman?
That's a cheeky one right there.
So, Mark, who's your favorite Ranger, and would they beat Batman?
Well, my all-time. No, because the thing is, Batman's very kind of. He knows pretty much most martial arts. So even if he went against RJ, like I think RJ would put up a very good fight, but I think Batman would win in the end.
Ooh, I think that you're selling RJ short a little bit there. You know, he's a master with the spirit of the wolf.
True. And I know that it wouldn't be something like a few punches RJ goes down. We're talking like literally both of them would be bleeding and like Dragon Ball Z fighting type thing. But I think Batman would probably have an edge over it just a little bit.
Okay. Even with the Ranger suit giving RJ support.
Yeah, I like as much as I love RJ, like, but if RJ went against Superman, like RJ would absolutely like destroy Superman.
Why? And do you really want to go down this line? Because
magic.
It's not magic, though.
I know, but it's magic in my heart, so therefore it would win. So Lewis asks, okay, here we go. Tommy versus Batman. Batman would just destroy Tommy.
So then, I'm gonna use semi-canon logic here.
Mm-hmm.
You ready for this? Are you ready? So we've seen Batman versus Shredder, and Shredder beat Batman. and we've seen Tommy versus Shredder, and Shredder beat Tommy. So it stands to reason that they both lose to Shredder.
Shredder. Well, there was that Turtles arc, the story that they did in the comics, where Shredder became the Green Ranger.
Okay, so we've got to a consensus there that the Shredder beats both.
Yeah.
So the question is, out of the two, who put up the bigger fight? Because Batman got a whole film, and Tommy didn't actually last more than 5 pages, did he?
I don't know, because I actually haven't read the end of that story. I did read it. It got to the point where I think the Turtles became Power Rangers and they beat Shredder.
Okay. So yeah, I would argue that Batman puts up a bigger fight against Shredder than Tommy does. Therefore, Batman would beat Tommy.
Yeah. So
Lewis agrees Superman would whip RJ.
It's fine, don't worry. I know, but in my heart of hearts, in my head,
Batman is a very interesting one. I would have to unfortunately give it to Batman. He is a lot more versed at fighting people with and without weapons. So disarming Kruger would leave Kruger at a massive disadvantage because he normally mainly uses his sword.
Mm-hmm.
You reckon that's about right?
Yeah, I would kind of agree with that. I would go with that at this time in the morning.
1 minute. Orville said, favorite Rangers Beast Morpher's red. We would win because he got Sword Blast at super speed, enhances speed with Beast X mode, and he has the Beast X King Zord. But you haven't said who he was going to be fighting.
See, literally, if I think the main person that would absolutely destroy Devon would be Kruger, because all he has to do is just take his helmet off, and then literally Devon would freeze, and he wouldn't be able to morph, and it'd be like, I win. He would walk away. He wouldn't even need to touch him. He would literally go, I win, because if I take off my helmet, he freezes. That's it. So
in the Go Busters, he was scared of chickens, wasn't
he? Yeah, he was. But because they didn't put that in for Beast Morphers, Devon was afraid of dogs because they put Cheetah, because Cheetah's a cat, so cats are afraid of dogs. So when Devon would see a dog, even a picture of a dog, he would freeze. And they never utilized that apart from 2 episodes. The one episode where they find it, and then there's a billboard. They brought it in very briefly at an end of an episode where Ben and Betty had the dog, and it jumped on, and Devon went like that for a brief second, and no one paid attention.
Freddy Krueger versus Mark. Well, Freddy Krueger would require Mark to be asleep, and it's 3 a.m. So Mark obviously doesn't like sleeping. So
plus, you don't want to be in my dreams. Freddy and I would just become friends, and that's it. And then, back cool. Let's hang out.
Astro Megaship versus the 1701 USS Enterprise.
Enterprise, 100% Enterprise would destroy.
What? Are you serious? Why?
Do you really, really, really want me to go there? Okay.
I'd understand if it was one of the more up to date Starfleet.
Okay, we talking.
It's specifically the 1701, so the original series. It's gonna get annihilated.
No.
The Astro Megaship is gonna turn into a Megazord, land on that thing, and ride it like a space pony.
Or just before it,
I really want someone to make that art.
Riding around, but literally all they'd have to do is turn around and go beam a photon torpedo, or a torpedo onto the bridge of the Astro Megaship and detonate.
Can't beam through shields. Also, the original series didn't have transporters until way later on.
It did. Original series had transporters straight away.
They couldn't teleport people, could they? That's why they had to keep flying down, back and forward.
That's Enterprise.
Oh, I'm sure they had problems with teleporter technology in the first series.
They literally they didn't like.
This is not my strong point. That's why they had shuttles going down for at least the first series of the original series. They did not have teleporters for people.
Do you know why? Do you know why?
It was out of.
It was expensive. Do you know how they did that effect? The glitter type thing. Apparently, they do like a giant big load of water, put a load of glitter in, and then shone a light through it on a black screen, stirred it, and then that's pretty much the effect right there. A little bit of knowledge.
Also, even later on, they have trouble teleporting through shields, and as we see in space, the megaship does in fact have shields, so they wouldn't just be able to teleport on.
I'm sure after a while, a few phaser blasts would take out the Astra megaship,
The
and
Astra
plus
megaship has its own blasters and is more maneuverable, can switch into different forms.
yeah, and then Kirk would just literally seduce Decker, and there we
go. Fair enough, Lewis. I will agree with you and Mark on the transporters. I still, but yeah. I still think that I would give it to the megaship for against the original, but I think that versus like the next gen's Enterprise or like the Defiant or even Voyager, especially Voyager in like its futuristic Borg armor, like that Astro megaship going down.
A volley of photon. Look, if they had Worf on the Astro megaship, the Astro megaship would win every single time because he loves firing phasers and photon torpedoes. So he would be all fine. He'd in fact throw the Rangers into the tunnel things and shoot them at the Enterprise and be like, yes, and then they'd be like, oh shit, we only have 6. That's it. So the last question. Mark as RPM Gold and Silver versus. So I'm actually a Ranger. It's not me versus 3 Rangers that are going to kick the crap out of me. See, I would just wait an hour. I would just dodge all the attacks and just be like, "Cat, let's just have a chat. Let's have a chat." Oh, hour's gone. Now you're demorphed. I win, and that's it. I would just buy her.
I personally think that Mark would take a leaf out of Gokai Silver's book there. And he'd fanboy for the whole time and be like, oh, Gold and Silver.
And I'd be like, Mike, you're back, Mike. Mike Jin, that is. But cool. So yeah, this is like, I'm glad we had this chat about thingamabobs. That's
before you cut off. We have a Mark versus Ivan Ooze. Like Mark's old now. Like he would have fallen for the Ooze.
Okay. Did that person just delete? It's 106. I was just looking at the comments. I was like looking at 164, and I thought that guy actually got rid of it. Has he posted back? Because I'm literally in the camp of I literally cannot be asked. So has he replied to that big lengthy post?
He replied to my comment, which is, I believe in the Rangers taking on the army, but then the challenging part, Thanos. So I think that he has pretty much agreed to disagree.
Yeah.
I don't think that there is any.
No. So basically, 6 Rangers can take out 1 million people, and yet 1 or 2 Avengers had a problem with at least 1 or 2. So that's literally it. You've come in to say we're ending it. Just to catch you up, Jonny. This is Jonny and I have been talking about how the Dino Thunder Rangers. Apparently, some guy said the Dino Thunder Rangers could beat Thanos and his entire army in the last scene of Endgame. And that's it. That's the entire conversation. I'll catch you up later on it. But yeah, I think that is a good time to call.
This again. If people can, we all agree. Never, ever, ever. But I think we should do this again. Find some other stuff to chat and natter about, and basically keep us up till 3 a.m.
Yep. I think we can do it.
Sleep. I need my beauty sleep, so I am going to disappear.
Yep. And Lewis has just quickly said all the Power Rangers versus all the Arava.
Oh, I was about to disappear.
I'm going to quickly end. I generally think all of Arrowverse because literally you have speedsters.
So the Arrowverse, you have Supergirl, Superman, Martian Manhunter, and speedsters. They GG.
Yeah, I think Arrowverse literally just cakewalks over the Ranger universe.
If you were just doing the like non-powered Arrowverse, you know, like Arrow and Stargirl to a certain extent, because she's a little bit weak, and that group, then like obviously the Rangers did win. But yeah, with all of that side of it, that ain't happening.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll leave it there. Thank you for joining me, Jonny, at this.
Have a nice night. Nice talking to everybody on the stream.
Yep. Cool. Right. See you later, guys. Thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe. If you've already subscribed, awesome. Thank you very much. And yeah, we will catch you in the next video where there's been lots of Final Fantasy VII. All right. See you later. Bye.